Hello, I'm John Bachman. A grim warning from ISIS as the deadline to reach a deal on the lives of 2 Japanese hostages comes and goes. As the mother of one of those 2 men, Kenji Goto, pleads for her son's life, the terror group is again threatening to kill them. Earlier this week, ISIS gave Japan 72 hours to pay a $200 million ransom. And as we mentioned, that deadline has now passed. And more attacks on ISIS on several fronts. The embattled Syrian city of Kobani has been hit again in one of the 24 airstrikes in Iraq and Syria just over the last day. And while the Pentagon says about 6,000 ISIS fighters have been killed during the offensive, Defense Secretary Chuck Hagel says that's no good measurement.
What you look at is you look at things like, do you have ISIL on the defensive? And I think by most every measurement, not imperfect or not perfect, they have been on the defensive.
Well, Kurdish forces in northern Iraq say they've cut a key supply line to the city of Mosul, the largest still held by ISIS. A concentrated effort to retake Mosul is expected sometime this spring. Meantime, in Yemen, things are getting worse. Shia rebels are calling for mass rallies a day after the country's president and cabinet resigned, and it is what is being called a coup. U.S. officials are pulling more staffers out of the embassy in the capital of Sana'a, and there are also serious questions about what this will do to the fight against al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula, which is based in Yemen. And it's looking more like Florida Senator Marco Rubio is trying to run for the White House. Several reports now say that he's laying the groundwork for a presidential run next year. He will be in Miami today and tomorrow for a meeting with major donors and supporters. And a former fire chief in Atlanta let go earlier this year for a book he wrote now has filed a federal complaint. Kevin Cochran was fired after publishing a religious book that compared homosexuality to bestiality. Atlanta city officials say he broke the city's non-discrimination policies by publishing and distributing the book to employees. He's now filed a complaint calling the firing religious discrimination. And questions continue about the underinflated footballs in last Sunday's AFC Championship game. The NFL is still investigating, and we could learn the results as early as today. Patriots quarterback Tom Brady says he helped choose the balls for the game on Sunday and they didn't know anything about any problems.
When I pick those footballs out, at that point, to me, they're perfect. I don't want anyone touching the balls after that. I don't want anyone rubbing them, putting in the air in them, taking the air out.
Well, the Patriots face a fine or may even lose draft picks if they are found guilty of cheating. And scientists say they may have found more evidence that the building blocks for human life, and all life really, may have come from comets. Data from Europe's Rosetta space probe, which has been going alongside a comet since August, shows the surface of that comet covered with a complex mixture of organic compounds. The probe will follow the comet as it swings around the sun and starts to heat up over the next few months. We'll have another update coming up for you in 30 minutes.